Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in and let's start off with this article. This got posted last summer, and we do see B2B cross-border payments are growing. Here's why. Now, initially in this, they do talk about the projections. So they're actually projecting that the B2B payments market will be valued at about $250 trillion by 2027. This is a very large amount of money being disrupted, and mainly the technology that will be disrupting this is going to be blockchain and AI based. We do see the possibilities offered by blockchain technology and AI allow businesses to automate more of their transactions, in addition to alleviating many of the complications that come with cross-border commerce. Now, again, I've talked about this quite a bit in the past. I do think that with what Ripple's doing with cross-border payments, it's a huge area of opportunity. Obviously, they're not going to be the only winner within that area. There's going to be a ton of other companies going after that market. But I do think that already Ripple has a very large upper hand over the market around cross-border payments already with their massive expansion, as well as their many partnerships with some great companies. One of them being Tranglo. So in the past, I've talked about Tranglo, right? This is a huge company. Ripple owns 40% stake in Tranglo, and also Tranglo is on-demand liquidity enabled, which is very large. Now, I made this tweet going all the way back to August of last year as well, and I said the exciting thing about XRP is that 90% of individuals will miss collaborations like this with Tranglo. These aren't just one-to-one partnerships. They are 1 to 100s or thousands of partnerships. The Tranglo collaboration streamlines adoption of on-demand liquidity. This is huge for XRP. And I did also mention down here, it gives Ripple and XRP exposure to over 1,300 banks in over 100 countries globally. These complex challenges that plague the legacy financial systems are being solved by on-demand liquidity powered by XRP silently in massive numbers. Pay attention to these partnerships. These are the ones that will blossom into thousands of banks integrating RippleNet and XRP powered on-demand liquidity into their systems all at once. Forget the flip the switch narrative. The real deal is having huge amounts of banks integrated in a single partnership. This is the XRP way. And even outside of banks, right? Like this is other major companies, like TransferWise, for example, is mentioned over there. TransferWise is a company I utilize on a daily basis to send international payments. It's an incredible app, but I do think that it could be made extremely efficient through blockchain technology. Now, mind you, all of Tranglo's clients are not using XRP powered on-demand liquidity yet. They do have exposure to it though. Why do I say that? Well, when we go back in time, going all the way to, or sorry, not this one. I actually have the images down here, sorry. We do see over here the challenge. This is with GEA. So GEA had this big issue around traditional pre-funding. We also seen inefficiencies around sending and receiving payments across borders. Mainly it was a money flow issue. Now, to overcome this hurdle, basically they went to Tranglo and they pretty much collaborated. And they seen a huge result. So in just 3 months, they saw a 70% growth in transactions. But they also seen 3 times processing value, 2 times the lower overheads, and 5 times customer retention. This was all because of on-demand liquidity. We do see Tranglo's close partnership with Ripple, the leading enterprise blockchain solutions for global payments, allowed us to propose Ripple's on-demand liquidity service to GEA. On-demand liquidity is a service that leverages the digital asset XRP to facilitate low-cost cross-border payments on RippleNet, Ripple's own global financial network. This is huge. This is huge. And again, they mentioned the key advantage for on-demand liquidity is, well, mainly the need for the no longer needing to pre-fund accounts, as well as allowing them to maximize capital efficiency. And this isn't just going to be centered on, fintech companies. It's going to be centered on major financial institutions, banks. Like the coverage on this is vast. Like this is just one company, but this is one company in the Tranglo pipeline. Because of the partnership that Ripple has with Tranglo, it allowed for this partnership to blossom as well. And like I said, this is why I say, like, these are not just one-to-one partnerships. There's so much more here left to unravel. Now, also, we just seen Tranglo announce this. Global means no separation, our first large-scale expansion to Europe will offer more value to our partners regarding cross-border payment speed and coverage. Another feature or another feather in the cap as we mark 15 years of Tranglo. And yeah, this is extremely large. When we go over here, we do see Tranglo launches instant SEPA payout to Europe. And if we scroll down here, we do see it marks the company's first large-scale expansion in that region and comes amid an influx of cross-border funds in recent years. SEPA facilitates over 43 billion transactions annually, with cross-border payments growing rapidly in the last 10 years. However, cross-border SEPA credit transfers and direct deposit or direct debits account only for 3.5 and 4.5% of such transactions in the region, respectively. And we do see Tranglo expects cross-border transactions to SEPA countries to pick up significantly in coming months, especially among the increasing number of European businesses and consumers abroad looking for real-time payments. And this is huge, but also look at all of the supported payout countries. You have the UK, you have Belgium, Croatia, Finland, Germany, Greece, Hungary, and so many other ones here. This is huge, and there's more to follow. This is why I say focus on the big picture here, especially around instant cross-border payments. This is huge. They continue to expand. And again, all of this is direct exposure to on-demand liquidity. This is a very large innovation, as well as a very large announcement that we recently just seen today. Now, also, when you look at Tranglo itself, yes, they're very adamant about on-demand liquidity. They mention it quite a bit over on their website, and they do talk about XRP being that bridge currency. It's a true game changer. Yeah, this is exactly why we focus on it. XRP has such a huge use case tied to it, and a lot of the companies that are sourcing Tranglo tech are utilizing on-demand liquidity. This is why I say the exposure to XRP is extremely vast. A lot of people want to focus just on the price action of XRP. They just want to focus on quick, getting rich off of XRP. That is like one of the biggest misconceptions around XRP. I've always said it, like, XRP is not a get rich quick, token. It's going to take some time for these things to be built out, but this is what you love to see, is names like Tranglo expanding globally to huge payout markets. And guess what's going to be sourced? XRP for instant cross-border payments. This is a big deal. And also, we just seen Tranglo announce that today they move money across 30 countries. This is expanding with these huge announcements. More and more countries are being added with 24/7 support, instant cross-border payments. This is a big deal. And also, Tranglo also mentioned recently that today Tranglo processes cross-border payments for financial institutions, licensed remittance providers, online payment gateways, network operators, e-commerce players, and corporates of all sizes. This is what I meant by it's not just banks. It's not just fintech companies. It is every major entity centered on cross-border payments. So when we go back to that $200 trillion market, $250 trillion market valuation, think about the percentage that Ripple is going to grasp within that market utilizing XRP. It is going to be very exciting to see where XRP is in the next couple of years when we see expansions like this. Now, also, I want to take you guys back to February 26th, because this was actually a pretty large update from Tranglo. So we do see Easy Remit will use Tranglo's proprietary single interface platform to route real-time transactions, reduce cross-border frictions, and scale growth. And then we do see together we're transforming the global remittance landscape and creating unlimited possibilities with fintech. And we do see on-demand liquidity and Ripple tagged. Now with this, one thing that I did not notice was the mention of India. India is mentioned here. But why is this a big deal? Well, this is on-demand liquidity and its adoption within these key corridors. This is a big deal. And I was not the only one to catch this. In fact, Crypto Airy was one of the first ones to really kind of catch this. And we do see, did anyone read this carefully? XRP on-demand liquidity in key corridors, including India. And we do see, was it widely known India was using on-demand liquidity? So much going on, I can't keep up. And here we have key corridors, on-demand liquidity, India. The funny thing about this is, guess what? This is about to blow your mind. When we go over to this announcement from July of 2022, we do see a look at India's grand vision to be a global payments powerhouse by 2025. We do see a document that outlines the central bank's ambitions for domestic payment ecosystem for the next 3 years, sharing aspirations for cross-border payment linkage, the development of a CBDC, and also the possibility of new rules being introduced targeting big techs and fintechs in the payment space. This is very interesting. Now, we do see that RBI's aim to establish India as a global powerhouse of digital payments and details the regulator's implementation plan to reach its goals. And this does talk more about digital payment transactions and also a lot more around like reducing cash and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot tied to this, and it's very interesting to see them mentioning this. They also do mention, the problems right now around the shortcomings within the system, talking more so about delays and stuff like that. But I think that this is very interesting to say the least when you look at the evaluations that they're actually talking about this. For example, we do see local digital payment company PhonePe and consulting firm, the Boston Consulting Group, BCG, forecast that India's digital payment market could more than triple to $10 trillion in the next 5 years alone. As a result of the unprecedented growth, digital payments non-cash would constitute nearly 65% of all payments, wherein 2 out of 3 transactions would be digital within the next 5 years, as opposed to 2 out of 5 transactions today. This is absolutely huge. This is a big deal. This is why digital payments are going to dominate the payments landscape going forward. And also, this was not the only thing. We also did see over here, going back to 2017, Ripple-powered instant payment services now live in Axis Bank, Rack Bank, and also Standard Chartered. They have been focused on the Indian corridors for so long around cross-border payments, and it really all goes back to 2017. This was the big announcement around this, and we do see it's also never been more important for retail remittances to be instant, efficient, and secure between the UAE and India. Retail remittances between the two countries are significant and growing thanks to the large Indian workforce in the UAE. And when we look down here, they have been centered on these key areas for so long because of the amount of growth within them, as well as the amount of adoption that they could see within these key corridors. But this was not the only thing. We also seen just recently, back in 2021, Lulu Exchange partners with Federal Bank to enhance cross-border payments. And we do see Lulu Exchange partners with Federal Bank to enhance cross-border payments into India through RippleNet Cloud. However, the new 3-way partnership with the Federal Bank will help innovate new pathways in the payment service arena in India. Moreover, many people continue to exchange money using payment services even during pandemics. And we do see down here, we are proud to announce our partnership with Ripple and Federal Bank to enhance real-time payments from UAE to India that are faster and more affordable than ever before. Step into any of our 76 branches in the UAE. Sorry, I did not mean to click it, or call them to know more. This is a huge deal. Now, also from this, we did see another update around this. Going back to 2019, I actually meant to read this one first, but it's all good. Going back to 2019, we did see Ripple, India's Federal Bank team on cross-border payments. And then just a couple years later, what we've seen from this, and by the way, we do see that it isn't known if the partnership will include cryptocurrency or not, especially since the Reserve Bank of India, the country's central bank, issued a statement saying it wouldn't support the digital currency, even though some appealed the stance, the country's Supreme Court upheld it. And we know now that India actually is very pro-crypto. This goes back in 2019. And also the UAE wants to become a crypto hub. So I wouldn't doubt that they want to center out on crypto tech and actually source crypto tech in terms of its potential. And when we do see over here, we do see brief, India Send Bank signs MOU with Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan. Now, do you guys remember when we looked back on in time with this? This is from 2017, right? When we looked back on this, we tied this directly to the recent announcement in 2021 as well, with the Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan utilizing private blockchain for CBDC pilot with Ripple through the XRP ledger, the private ledger technology. We do see our collaboration with Ripple as a testament to the potential of CBDCs to provide an alternative and sustainable digital payment instrument in Bhutan. Now, I want you guys to understand that this is also centered on cross-border transfers. All of this, in my opinion, ties back to India's main focus, which is them wanting to become a massive powerhouse around payments. And their vision is centered out on CBDCs, digital payments, cross-border payments, making these efficient, making them extremely efficient, I should say. And it's also centered on online merchant payments, utilizing the internet and mobile banking, and so much more, which again, in my opinion, when we look at all of the connections between Ripple and India, as well as even the Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan with the CBDC pilot, they're most likely going to see the fact that, one, CBDCs on Ripple are extremely efficient because it's all sourced by XRP, which, by the way, the XRP ledger, the private XRP ledger that is being sourced here, it also opens the door for XRP to be utilized as a bridge currency, which I've mentioned many times in the past. Even if you look down here, you can see the transaction here around this in terms of like interoperability, and allows for cross-border transactions as well as cross-asset transactions, which is more so centered on atomic settlement, any-to-any payments. But all of this is a huge deal. And I do believe that Ripple will play a vital role in all of this. And it's all thanks to all of the many partnerships that they are pretty much creating here. And I do think that Tranglo is also a big one. I think India is a major market for Ripple. And I honestly think that we should be centered out on the BRICS nations, because those nations are moving extremely fast against the US dollar. And they're going to need trade currency. They're going to need cross-border payment currencies that can be bridge currencies, which XRP is the perfect example of this. And I also believe that they will source the power of the XRP ledger because, hey, it is decentralized. It's not controlled by anyone. Now, in terms of RippleNet, it's a little bit of a different story, but I do think that a lot of what we are seeing around the evolution of payments is going to be centered out on blockchain technology. And I do think that XRP is going to eat a lot of that lunch, simply because Ripple has been focused on this market for so long, sourcing XRP as the power source for it, and the efficiencies are just far too great to ignore. And again, going all the way back to that initial viewpoint, it's a $250 trillion market projected value by 2027. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.